Hey folks, Deano here again, this time with part 2 of my Black Hole Toys Furious Hero review. This is going to be the quick comparison, specifically to the bootleg, seeing as how I do not own the official or the original version anymore, unfortunately. Wish I did, but times do get tough every so often and I have to sell. So yeah, do some quick comparisons, both to the figures themselves and the faces, and I will also show you the heads, specifically on the Demoniacal Fit Xeno Goku Black head, because while they don't fit perfectly, they do still sit there nice enough, so you could kind of get away with it. But yeah, link in the description below for both of these guys. I'll have a link to both the Black Hole Toys and the bootleg. Pick your poison, really. I have reasons for liking both of them. Despite the flaws of the bootleg, it's still kind of serviceable as a background piece. But yeah, immediately right off the bat, you will notice there's not a whole lot of difference. Like, once you start zooming in, you realise there are like issues, specifically with the bootleg compared to the Black Hole Toys one. Specifically in like the coat, like the bootleg is definitely far more shiny, which is kind of a bad thing, to be honest. I know a lot of people don't care about it. I don't personally care that much either, but putting them side by side, you can definitely tell. Also, the legs on mine, completely fine. In fact, these are actually tighter than the Black Hole Toys one, but neither has like that much of an issue with it. I have noticed a funny thing on like this leg. If you take these two side by side, you'll notice that the bootleg has painted this section. Black Hole Toys has not, but Black Hole Toys has painted this little section here, whereas the bootleg hasn't. So yeah, that's a bit strange. I'm not entirely sure which one is correct. I'm going to assume Black Hole Toys, but they might both be incorrect, and both parts should be painted. I mean, when you see it on the bootleg, it does look as if it's supposed to be that way, but I don't actually know because I don't have the official. But yeah, apart from that, like, the Black Hole Toys definitely wins in the aesthetic department. Black Hole Toys always do a really good job of giving the figures like a matte finish. I also really prefer the Black Hole Toys head, not the face per se, we will get to that in a moment, but the head. This has more of a pearlescent look to it and is also lighter in colour. I know there's not much difference on camera, but in person you can tell. But you would still get away with this one. Like, absolutely. There wouldn't be an issue at all. But yeah, that is where the bonus points for the bootleg end, I'm afraid. Yeah, the bootleg, despite being perfectly serviceable, does have its issues. The shoulder doesn't go all the way over, obviously because they've had to remold it. It's smaller, it doesn't quite fit. On mine specifically, that piece there should be painted, as you can see. That's a lot cleaner. This one they have forgot, and he's got a bit of a growth there as a result. But yeah, I mean, the bootleg managed to get all the cat scratches proper. Like, they've actually copied them one for one. Like, I'll be honest. But yeah, specifically the feet on the bootleg, I'm really not a fan. Specifically because this one is like mismolded to me. Or more likely they glued it in place incorrectly. So yeah, this foot is just terrible. Like, it really doesn't look good at all. But yeah, but frankly, like, either or, I'd be happy with. Like, I got the Black Hole Toys because it's obviously a more premium release, but yeah. In terms of the faces, the bootleg right here, despite having a like shinier look to it, actually has better eye decals, in my opinion. And the Black Hole Toys one, I don't know what they've done, but it looks off. Specifically on the stern face. The rest of the faces, spoiler, the Black Hole Toys one wins hands down. But yeah, I think I might be putting the bootleg faces onto the Black Hole Toys. So in terms of faces, bootleg on the right, Black Hole Toys on the left. I know some people would call both of these bootlegs. I do not. These are higher quality. I just call these like clones. Clones and bootlegs are a different breed to me. But anyway, the teeth gritted face, I will say it looks a lot better on the Black Hole Toys release. Even though the eye decals are still a bit better on the bootleg. But overall the bootleg is suffering a little bit on this face. Gotta be honest. I'm gonna face the facts. Just stop, Dean. And then the yelling face, like, I'm gonna be honest, both of these look off to me. The eyes on the yelling face for Black Hole Toys are a bit too angled for my liking, whereas these ones are drooping down a bit. So yeah, I don't think either side wins here. Like, if we're going like finish, Black Hole Toys wins, but other than that, it's really a toss-up between what you prefer. So yeah, last thing before we go, if we pop these guys to the back, we will bring in this Demonico Fit Xenohead. I'm not really sure why Demonico Fit themselves like made this head the way they did. It's a bit strange. I mean, it's a complete copy of their Martialist Forever mould, but then they've changed how the faces fit on it to be basically the full power Super Saiyan heads. And as you can see, at first glance, the two heads do sort of line up, but then you look at the back, and for whatever reason, as usual, Black Hole Toys have changed the peg system. And also, for whatever reason, the Goku Black face is far deeper than the Black Hole Toys one. But that kind of works out in our favour. So if we take the Demonico Fit head, slot that in pretty much as far as it will go before like the pegs. There will be a gap at the sides. That's just inevitable unless you mod these faces. But that's mostly covered by the hair. So yeah, if you do that, it does kind of work. And again, this just goes to show just how little these faces actually look like Goku. Like, there's far too much chin. I'll be honest. But they do sit there. They do work as like a stand-in head if you want it to. But yeah, at the end of the day, I wouldn't bother trying this. Unless you're willing to mod it, in which point the faces will fit, but they might be sunken too much into the head. I might try one of them for science. We will see. Stay tuned for a possible custom showcase for that, just to see what it's like. But yeah, guys. Overall, again, like, people are going to clown on this guy because it's a clone release. This is usually what Demonico Fit does. But yeah, if you're willing to fork out the more premium price, I say more premium, 35 quid is still very cheap for a figure arts, especially in this day and age. But But if you already have the bootleg, I mean, I would honestly think twice about getting this guy. Unless you're wanting the extra heads, in which case I say go for it. This combination specifically looks really nice. But yeah, that is just one accessory out of all of the bonus ones Black Hole Toys have given us that I really, really like. But then again, that's just my opinion. Let me know yours down in the comments. So yeah, guys, until next time, I'll see y'all later.